us. Thank you everyone for making back to the room. As I promised you in the beginning, today we would also discuss about not just about the technical trends and what's going to shape the blockchain, the next, let's say blockchain, the adoption for blockchain, but also we would like to give you like a glimpse into the local landscape and obviously some of the existing verticals and challenges in DeFi infrastructure that we are also looking at, in the Southeast Asia and Asian ecosystem. So I do like the presentation, from Mark, because basically he has set the stage for the next panel on DeFi, where we would be talking about whether we would be able to make DeFi great again. And whether we would be able to see the DeFi renaissance. So with that topic, I would like to invite to the stage our stellar panelists here. We have Laura Shi, CEO of Mega ETH. We have Ashutosh Sahu, CEO of Zero Finance. We have Nikki Chalabi, Head of DeFi from Tyco. We have Pete, Head of Partnership at Contribution DAO. And please welcome our moderator, M. Udomsuk, from the co-founder at Forward Finance. So we do have a very interesting, please come forward, go to the stage, don't be shy. We do have a very interesting mix of, builders, chains, infrastructure, as well as different countries here. So we do hope that you will be able to have a better look at how we will be able to make DeFi great again. So please over to M.
Yeah. Thank you for the introduction. We have an interesting panel discussion over here, which is a DeFi renaissance, how to make it great again. So I think you guys already probably know the answer already, but let's listen from the panelists here. So my name is M, that's my nickname. In Thailand, we call each other by nickname. You probably know the reasons. Our full name are super long, right? So I'm a co-founder of FWX, also a full-time university professor in mathematical finance and a part-time KOL. So, guys, would you mind introducing yourself and about your projects briefly?
Okay, hi. My name is Pete from Contribution DAO. We are institutional grade node validators with high standard with SOC 2, with ISO 27001. We are really specialized in Southeast Asia, especially Thailand. Yeah.
So yeah, my name is Nikki. Thanks for having me here. So I am with Tyco, and Tyco is the first based rollup in Ethereum. As you may know, Tyco launched on mainnet end of May this year. And we've seen tremendous growth, and so we're growing, and happy to be here. Thank you.
I'm Ashu. I'm the CEO of Zeeve. We are building an omni-chain credit infrastructure and DeFi money markets on top of this credit layer.
My name's Laura. I'm the COO of Mega ETH. So Mega ETH is a high-performance layer 2 with 100,000 TPS with million-second level of latency. We believe that is a key product differentiation today, definitely layer 2 need within the EVM ecosystem.
Right. Thank you for the intro. So, let's begin with one of the first questions about like how to make DeFi great again, right? So, the DeFi has come a long way, like years ago. And what achievements or progress do you believe laid the foundation for the stronger future? So let's begin with the contribution now, person.
Okay. I believe that we come so far. We grow so much like in terms of like number of users, but beside that, we also we start from like one person sending money to another person, and now we have like something like decentralized exchange. We have yearn farming. We have like lending protocol, and I think these are set up the fundamental for the DeFi. So now we see a lot of like new narrative. For example, like yearn trading, LRT, LST, right? So I think with these, maybe like set the new standard for like the new project to be on top of them. And I believe with a lot of VCs still like excited to like invest on DeFi project. I actually really excited to see the upcoming DeFi project. Yeah.
Right. How about like Nikki? Would you like to add on that?
Sure. So, I mean, generally speaking, if we just look at the evolution of DeFi, right? In 2016, for example, we witnessed the first, let's say, decentralized exchanges like Ether Delta, then you had Fork Delta and stuff like this, right? And the UX was pretty clunky and slow, and also those like solutions weren't super decentralized. And then in 2018, we've seen like, for example, I believe it was November 2018, we've seen Uniswap launching like the AMM model. So we have seen also the evolution of DEXs going from there, like then we had the concentrated liquidity launching, right? And then now we have a multitude of products, right? Like for example, in 2021, if we had like LSTs becoming popular, now we, for example, are witnessing LRTs, but also we're seeing like a lot of like BTC-Fi also emerging and becoming super relevant as well. And essentially you have much more liquidity in that ecosystem as well. And like they are trying to kind of like tap into that liquidity as well. So, and what I can say, of course, we'll see DeFi going further, and generally speaking, it is the most, I would say, relevant use case so far in this space, unfortunately. But I think like, because like, you know, generally speaking, finance is the usual suspect to like, we want to kind of disrupt. This is number one. But number two is also like something like people understand, not maybe majority, but to a certain extent, like people are kind of used to it. And we will see more like, for example, RWA products coming into the play, like, and of course we'll see more regulation coming into the play when it comes to DeFi, but I do believe that the space will grow further and actually will flourish.
Right. I haven't heard of the Ether Delta for a very long time already. So, and after that we have Uniswap, and you laid down like so many projects that have been built, you know, to make DeFi what it is today. So I'll ask Ashutosh, what we have seen the building blocks of DeFi, you know, from past to present, and we have always been talking about how to onboard users. Right, the mainstream users, the mass adoption. So how can DeFi projects make user onboarding more accessible? Are there emerging projects or ideas that you are, you know, think that are setting a new standard or user-friendly projects?
I think there are three things. One is aggregation. Second one is simplification. And third one is potentially rewarding good behavior, right? Now, obviously, in the previous keynote, and as Nikki mentioned, aggregation is needed. And as you know, you also mentioned, right? There are so many LSTs, LRTs, newer yield strategies, BTC-Fi coming up. It's impossible to keep track. So users, now if you want to onboard the next wave, you necessarily don't have to give all of those strategies on a single platform, but you can handpick and provide some of the strategies, right? So that is the role of aggregation. Now, simplification is, right now, providing liquidity on Uniswap or a perp DEX is extremely difficult. I have to determine the concentrated range for providing liquidity, and if the position goes outside the range, I have to rebalance it. And advent of AI can greatly help automate all of this. So that is simplification. And lastly, if you see traditional finance evolution, right? If you go back to the 70s, 80s, a lot of capital inefficiency and a lot of idle capital used to exist, right? Same is the case today with Aave and incumbent lending borrowing protocols. There's a lot of over-collateralization and underutilization of assets. Almost $16 billion worth of asset on chain on Aave is idle. Right? Now, all of this changed when there was a credit infrastructure introduced in Web 2. And that gave rise to a $4.5 trillion economy, because credit cards came through, educational loans came through, personal loans came through. So something like a credit infrastructure which is truly decentralized, truly omni-chain, and powered by AI, without KYC, without doxing the user, that I think is going to be the next explosion.
Right. So we have aggregation, and the simplicity, and the like I would say like a capital efficiency. Would that be the word? Yeah. And how about Lola? Would you like to add on the same question? I'll repeat the question again. To onboard the the mass adoption, what would be the ideas that you probably are having in mind to actually onboard the mass to actually get into DeFi?
I think my experience in this industry give me heading up into a conclusion saying it is not about we introducing, especially from DeFi perspective, we introducing a totally new financial product. I would say in the past 100 years, the development and innovation of financial product have been comprehensive enough. And if you check about what happened in the past 12 months, like for example, Pando, it is actually following the same logic of a long existing financial product or service in the traditional market. But the block, and no mentioning that people who have been well educated in terms of how to earn financial return from a product or service, that is something every product developer want to well capture. You don't want to introduce a new idea that's too new, that people can't have it mapping with what they already know in their own mind map. But the problem today at the moment is that given the existing friction for people even onboarding assets to the crypto world, there's a lot of frictions to making people trying to earn some money from reputable projects that they trust. Therefore, majority of the crypto participants today ends up in lost money, got scammed, or put their money into a failed project. What I would say make more sense is that please allocate more like logic into the smart contract on-chain, because in today's market, the only two things that, in our opinion, sustainable from the debt perspective is either you make people truly own the asset, not only the ERC20 token, but also like the asset or the financial product themselves. That will be the long-term goal. In the medium term, what is capable to deliver will be provide visibility. Most of the DeFi projects today, I would call them CDeFi, reason being, when I put my money into a vault, it's end up as a black box. That kinds of things actually not only ends up getting you being caught by your local regulators saying you're operating a financial service, but also make lack of scalability for your project, because it is always very difficult for build up trust in the mass market, and that make your business operation more heavy, like very heavier, even at same level as the traditional way of traditional finance. That's my take.
Right. So being less centralized and not be the decentralized in this case. That will be the thing. So we have seen DeFi, prospered, and then because of the market cycle. So I'll ask Nikki on this question: how can we make it resilient? Like how to make DeFi like resilient and no more cycles again?
I mean, to make generally speaking something resilient, you have to kind of reach the escape velocity. And I personally think that at the moment, DeFi is nowhere the escape velocity, to be honest. And if we look from the chain perspective, like all of us were trying to kind of, we're competing for the same liquidity, for the same users when it comes to DeFi. Essentially what we're doing, we're actually renting liquidity from each other to a certain extent. Unfortunately, that's the case. And in order for us to make it more resilient, of course, we need to have, first of all, great products. But apart from the products, you have to also have users. And you have to get like normal average users into the space. I just generally don't think that the space is at the level where you can actually onboard, like, let's say, a billion of users like we always like to claim, because in the end of the day, like, the users still need to go through frictions, right? Like, for example, they have to be at least comfortable to have a browser wallet, like they have to manage their seed phrase. And that's not the best, I would say, user experience. And that's the reason why we see actually more users on the centralized exchanges. Like, for example, if you look at Binance or Coinbase, they have like 150 million to 100 million users, whereas if you look probably at DeFi, like it's not even close to that, not even like probably 10%, right? And essentially, like that's the important thing to, I would say, solve is the user experience. And also, the other part is the security element of it. Because in the end of the day, whenever you're using the DeFi, any DeFi protocol, you're actually like relying on smart contracts. And there's always a smart contract security risk. So that's why to also kind of, if we want to have large volumes of capital flowing into DeFi, they have to be also sure that nothing will happen to their capital. So you have to resolve from one end the UX UI issue, and then from the other end, people have to be kind of comfortable to utilize those protocols.
And let's talk about the AI a bit, because AI has been a big topic in not only in the Web 2 space but also in Web 3 space. So Ashutosh, how can AI add the real value to DeFi?
In computation, so obviously in the last 2 years, AI has evolved a lot. So there are, before the advent of AI, we used to see predictions on expected values, right? So which is based on historic data and probabilistic models. But with advent of AI, LLMs, and computation power, we can now do predictive models, right? So one of the areas where we use AI extensively is in predicting the probability of liquidation of a wallet. Now, if I know that the probability of liquidation is really low, then I can actually give him custom leverage up to 15x on his positions wherever he wants to take it, right? Other area where we use AI extensively is in rebalancing positions on DEXs while providing liquidity. So we take a lot of data that is available, and the gold mine lies in predicting the next tick. And I think AI is helping us get there.
Right. So the next trader is probably AI trader. So Laura, you was talking about the DeFi products. They were actually from traditional finance, like talking about Pendo and some other products. So how would you how do you see the implementing DeFi to actually transform, or how would affect the traditional finance? And what impact do you envision DeFi having on traditional financial inclusion and accessibility of finance into banking into coming years?
Understood. There's actually one interesting project they were incubating at the moment within Mega Mafia. Mega Mafia, that is a core ecosystem of Mega East. Is that we actually see, in order to have people truly not only have their asset parking on-chain, but also even for retailers, say if I only have $2,000 equivalent of asset on-chain, I still want to do portfolio management. I see a better future, for example, given the price performance year to date for ETH, but at the same time, I also want another 50% of this $2,000 equivalent asset I have to put parking as a stable coin or some T-bill return. Today, no one can offer it on-chain, reason being every logic in order to make this liquidity management back off in terms of withdrawal and deposit on the back end being too expensive. The friction for you to make multiple logic and rebalancing happening every day for each of your clients is unbelievable high. That is, in our opinion, that stop the very minimum MVP of banking solution capable to happen on crypto. Because the traditional banking, one thing we need to highlight that we don't want crypto to solve something that's not being a pain point in the real world. That's what we so-called the real innovation. It is not about getting people FOMO in 6 months. It is about people capable to build on top of some pinpoint that's capable to be solved on crypto. What we need to solve at the moment for the existing banking system is that you need to trust the bank. You need to introduce Basel 1, Basel 2, now Basel 3, to ensure the bank has enough reserve for what you're putting your money, to comfort you to put your saving money into the bank. In the circumstance that you got a crypto clear vault, provide you all the logic, even though you don't own the money anymore, technically speaking on-chain, the vault owns the money, but with all the logic capable to provide full availability to every single customer, about what is the liquidity mechanism. You got 5% capable to pull out of this vault immediately, another 20% for the next 24 hours. And in the circumstance, there is a clap of a token that happens to be in the reserve pool. What will be the logic trigger immediately within the liquidity management mechanism of this so-called bank thing? We don't need to introduce something very difficult to implement, but just a simple idea, which is exactly how we already see things have been success in the past 6 years with this AMM idea by Uniswap. I think that is the things we're missing and which is crucial for us to ultimately see, hopefully in 5 years, banking could truly happen on crypto.
Right, agree. Yeah. Well, the last question, Pasin, you are the Thai builder, and as we are in Bangkok right now, so I think each market has its own characteristics. So what do you think are the factors that shaping DeFi crypto space in Thailand?
Okay, I'll keep it short because I think we run out of time. So I think Thai people, they know a lot of cryptocurrency, they know Bitcoin, they know ETH. Even my mom friends, they actually buy something. but also there's a lot of community really super active or Web3 space. And I think that's a good thing. However, I think a lot of people who they only buy to speculate the price to see go up and down and then they sell it. I think it's quite a shame if we can use, what we do for the contribution DAO or even the company in Thailand, for example the FWX or even BitCup, we try to push people to know more about the utility that they can use the project, not just buying and to hopefully the prices go up, right? So yeah, that is the narrative.
Yeah, there's speculation. Well, we need that. So thank you everyone for joining, and thank you all the panelists for sharing their insights. And let's build and make DeFi great again. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, the panelists. Please stay with us and take a group photo. I hope that you've been able to convince the audience that DeFi Renaissance is not too far away. Thank you.